That's just the way it goes. If I could do them for people, I would love to do them. To be honest, probably more so than singing. I love just sitting painting. There's nothing like it. But yeah, I just haven't got the time to do it. There's only enough. There's only so many hours in the day, you know.
Keith, this lady here, you actually say you live with Eskimos? Okay, wow. So she wants to know when you make a trip to Alaska.
I would love to make a trip to Alaska. We've never. It's just so hard for any band to tour. If you're from Alaska, you'll know you guys probably don't get a lot of bands up there all the time. Yeah, it's because it's just so far away. No way.
What'd she say?
That'd be awesome.
What was it?
Well, talk to Sharon. I would love to go up to Russia or go to. Yeah, it would be awesome to go up. It's so tough for us guys. I think the furthest sort of north we went in Canada was like Thunder Bay kind of direction. And that's far. That was like we had to fly to get there. So like even to get there, we couldn't even bring our set because it will be for the trucks. It's like a 2.5 day trek to get there, which means you'll have to do 3 days to get back. So it's a week-long trek for one show. You know, it's just the logistics of it's very hard. Okay, no problem. Well, our stew's cooking away here, folks.
Keith, also we have a lady over here, Peggy. She wanted just for me to tell you something. Jackie, I'm sorry. She said that before she came over, she just had tea with your mother, and she said your mother said you to behave.
Right. Cool.
And another lady right here wanted to ask you about your photography when you're done.
My mum, yeah. Did you meet up with her? Well, the soaps. Oh, fantastic. She told me to behave. My mum and dad kind of misbehave a lot too, you know, in fairness. Like I learned from the best. Oh, I know. I'm the apple of my granny's eye, without a doubt. The rest of the grandchildren hate me for that, including Rebecca. She always says there was nobody like me. But I was the only kind of kid in the house growing up when my grandmother was. So I basically lived in my grandmother. I call her mummy half the time. I don't call her granny because I grew up with my aunties and uncles, so they're like my big sisters, and they called her mum. So I kind of call her mum too. It's weird. But I grew up basically staying in her house. Probably more than I stayed in my own house when I was growing up, so we're pretty close. Your granny's a cool cat. She's turned 70 something this year. Yeah, she's fun. I don't know how she puts up with all our nonsense. Her house is crazy. She's like the oracle. Every time she moves into one room, even she's trying to get away from everyone. She goes to bed before she knows it. There's like 6 of us sitting on the bed talking to her. She might just leave me alone for 5 minutes.
And this lady asked a quick question about your photography, how she wants to know how that's going.
Photography's going good again. It's like the art, you know. There's priorities for me is my music, obviously, and that's kind of a side thing that I would like to do more of. But it's just sort of one of those things I do. I used to, when I first got my camera about 5-6 years ago, got a couple of good cameras, and I used to shoot a lot more. But with work and I like to shoot places I've never been. So when you've done America about 40 million times, you just like. I've taken photographs of so much stuff, I don't want to take any more photographs of it. You know, but like we've toured America, I don't know how many times now, I don't know how many miles we've done. Like on an average trip, we're trying to work it out, Neil and I were trying to work out how many miles we might actually do on a tour. And it's crazy, like between flying and between driving. Like me and Dave last year, whenever we done the tour in our van, we done 28,000 miles in 2.5 months. In a Ford van, and that was just that tour. You know, we just toured Australia this year. Even things like this here, the amount of miles that we clock up is just crazy. But I've done it that many times now. When I'm in America, my camera never really leaves the bag anymore because like I've already photographed this town, When I go to different places, I still like to shoot.
I have a young lady down here in the front wants to ask you a quick question. What do you want to ask, Keith?
I don't know if you and Lulu have ever traded recipes.
If Lulu and I never, no, did any of you guys ever come to one of my shows? My friend Lulu, who was doing the merchandise, you might have met him. He's crazy. He's absolutely local. He's fun, trust me. But yes, Lulu is a chef as well. That's what he does part time. He would love to do it full time. It's just he can never really get a decent gig in LA. Chefing in LA is like music. There's lots of people trying to do it, you know. But he's a fantastic chef, and he. Me and him would have a good argument over a bottle of whiskey many's a night on the boat, you know. I have a funny story about Lulu actually. One time whenever we done that tour last year, we were driving from, I can't remember where we were driving from, but we were going through Virginia. Harrisburg, going through Virginia. Thank you. But whenever we were going through Virginia, it was about 8 o'clock that night, and it was Barry Kerr's birthday. And we were all in the van, and Lulu, we seen the sign saying like "Welcome to Virginia," and Lulu just pops his head through the middle of the van. He's like, dude, he's like, are we going to Virginia? And I was like, we're driving to like Atlanta. We have to go through Virginia. So he was like, I'm not allowed in Virginia. What do you mean you're not allowed in Virginia? He's like, I can't tell you, but I'm just not allowed. I was like, what do you mean, like the whole state? He's like, yeah, we're not allowed in the whole state. And that was enough questions for me to ask. I don't want to get involved in business, to be honest. But it ended up having a long detour through a lot of mountains. I was going to kill him. I was going to absolutely kill him. You know, your merch guy, you end up having to do another 400 miles that night to drive around the whole state. Because apparently, I don't know, I'm not even going to tell you why, but yeah, he could have got into a lot of trouble had I brought him there. Anyway, we got into as much trouble taking the detour, so we had to stop in some town, and it was Barry's birthday, and it ended up being messy.
The lady at the back here, she told me to tell you that Daniel O'Donnell told her to tell you hello, because you had done the same back the way.
Tell Daniel I says hello back thrice. Thank you. What'd you say? Tell him again, aye. Tell him, I said, I've never actually met Daniel O'Donnell. I think all the rest of the boys have met him. I've never met him. We're cousins. We probably could be. He's from Donegal as well, so. Daniel.
Over here with a lady, I'm assuming you're from Australia, correct? She wants to know when you were down there, have you ever tried Vegemite? I have, it's beautiful.
Yes, I have. Vegemite.
Have you ever tried kangaroo?
I have tried both of those. I'm more a fan of Marmite. I know Australian people love Vegemite. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
I think Marmite's better. But no, I know every Australian goes, no. But I think, personally, my taste goes to Marmite. I don't know why. You either love it or you hate it. I do like kangaroo. We actually barbecued it one night in a town called Tamworth. Tamworth, you know, the country town. And we had a barbecue there, so we barbecued a lot of kangaroo. It's pretty good. You have to cook it slow though, because I thought it went kind of tough pretty quick if you cooked it too fast. Kangaroo. What's that, Skippy?
This lady here mentioned that you have been to Morocco? Oh yeah, you've been to Morocco. She wants to know what did you think of it, what about your experience?
I've been to Morocco 6 times. I love Morocco, and I love the people there. But unless you stick to sort of the main towns, the sanitary and the smaller towns is pretty bad. I was sick a lot of the times I was there, you know. If I went, like, I'm sure it's not everywhere you go in Morocco. I have friends from Morocco, and the cooking's fantastic. You get the tagine dishes with the couscous, and they serve it to you in the pot with the hot coals below it. I mean, if you get a beautiful tagine, there's nothing like it. But Morocco's fun. If I went again, I would have to bring like a camper van and just drive around and cook my own food there. Which you can do. We're actually talking about possibly doing it in January. I might go down for a week. A few of us are talking about driving to the south of Ireland, taking the ferry across to France, drive through Spain, and then you get a ferry which leaves twice a day, and it takes you into a place called Agadir, which is the sort of main city where you fly into in North Morocco. And then you can drive from there. You go to places called Sidi Kioki, Mswan, lots of nice places. Tagazout's about an hour from Agadir, and Tagazout's a town that the main wave in the town's called Anchor Point, and it's because there is an anchor factory there, and the person who named it Anchor Point was Jimi Hendrix. So back in the day, this wee town, Tagazout, is where the Beatles and Jimi Hendrix used to hang out to smoke. But it's a beautiful town nonetheless.
Yeah, there's a lady over here who wants to know, are you going to release your surfing video?
Well, the surfing idea I had was, which is going to be a long plan thing, that will be released, but I'm talking about doing a documentary on Ireland on the surf. Somehow nobody's yet to do a documentary on the surf in Ireland, so I decided, I don't know why no one hasn't done it. So for the next album I want to do it, and then in turn it'll give me something to write about, and I'm going to write all the music for the documentary sort of esque movie. But that'll be at the end of next year probably. We're going to start thinking about starting that. It'll be a 2-year thing, you know.
This lady wants to know, are you still trying to get on the Ellen show?
I am still trying to get on the Ellen show. I actually made it to the Ellen show, My friend was playing there. My buddy was doing guitar tech for him, a guy called Frank Turner, and I was standing side stage. And my friend Cahir, who's his guitar tech, so we were side stage at the Ellen show, and we were just giving Ellen dogs abuse. Me and him were like, Ellen, just like making fun of her, not realizing she was just standing in between us. She's about this tall, and I was just like, oh, you're Ellen. Yeah. She walked away, and I was like, alright, that's a chance shot.
That's too bad.
On the last tourist lady wants to know, you said you had Rosie dancing behind you. She wants to know
Rosa?
Oh yeah, sorry. She wants to know whose idea that was.
It was mine. Yeah, it was my idea.
What does she think of it?
Rosa loves it. She thinks she's the star of the show every time she sees it. It's funny, Rebecca wrote a song for Rosa. It's called, Rosa's full name is actually Rosario, which means the rosary in Spanish. But Rebecca wrote a song about Rosa as well, and I wrote a song about her. And she turned around and said to us, she said, it's great, she says, there's 3 songs wrote about me. I said, what's the 3? And Rebecca sang her song, and I sang my song, and she picked that on and said, if you leave me now, you take away the... And I was like, she's like, you wrote that one, didn't you? I was like, aye. There's not many kids with 3 songs that famous wrote about them. Any other questions? Keep them coming.
There's a lady up the back here wanting to know about, is there anyone you like now, currently, in country western music?
Personally speaking, I don't like country music right now. I think it's just, it's like Poison back in the day, or like, it's like glam rock pop. It's not country music. No offense to anyone, but I don't dig it. It's just not my thing. I don't know what it is. It's pop music. It's not country music. You know, country music was Glenn Campbell and Harry Nilsson and Hank Williams and Johnny Cash. That was country music, not like stuff about, you know. Got up this morning and I drank a beer.
Okay, there's another question over here. This lady wants to know when you're coming back to New York. You're there in December, I believe, right in Westbury, Long Island?
We're in Westbury, Long Island. I think that's closer after Thanksgiving. 7th of December, we're playing in Long Island. And we're going to have the full symphony orchestra, so that'll be fantastic. So we're looking forward to this tour probably more so than any other tour that we've ever done. So we've never really sang apart from the DVDs in front of a live audience every night with a full orchestra. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be a strange enough kind of tour though, because every day we have to go to our sound check basically starts at 1 o'clock every day, and we'll have to run the whole show twice a day. So we have like a 3-hour rehearsal every day with them, because it's a different orchestra every day who's never played the songs. So we have to do the whole show every day before the show. So it's going to be fun.
Oh yeah, this lady up here wants to know, are you going to be doing a duet album with Rebecca?
I don't know. I really don't know. Again, it's just there's not enough time to get things done. You know, when I do an album, I don't like to just like churn stuff out for the sake of doing it. I would like to have a bit of content on it. Rebecca and I would like to do a duet album. It's kind of weird for a brother and sister to do a duet album because a lot of duets are about love, and that would just be weird.
This lady over here would like to just give a wave. There you go. She would like to know, how do you feel about Greek food?
Greek food. I love Greek food. You ever go to Greek Town in Detroit? Detroit's got the best Greek town I've ever seen. Really, after your grandmother, Detroit's really good. Last time we were in Detroit, I tried to steal a giant wooden horse out of a restaurant. A 2-headed horse. And it was so heavy I couldn't even get it out the door. I'm a bit of I like to steal stuff that's useless to other people for some reason. One time I stole a giant Buddha out of a Thai restaurant in Minneapolis. The guys were trying to get me to steal an elephant. The elephant was about this height at the front door, and I was like, it was that big I couldn't even lift it, and they were like talking to everyone, and I was trying to get this elephant out on the street. So I just ended up getting the Buddha and just running out the door instead. The Buddha is now on top of my boat. Please don't tell the Thai restaurant.
Lady over here is a very open-ended question, but what's the craziest thing you've ever done? I don't think we have that much time for that, do we?
I'll believe you me, most of it I couldn't tell you. I've done lots of crazy stuff. Let me think of one story which is pretty crazy. Do you know what? I couldn't. All my stories are that bad. I couldn't do it. I couldn't tell you. You know. Did I ever steal a racehorse? A police horse? I never stole a police horse. No. It's Bob and I actually had to think about that. I was like, did I ever steal a police horse? No.
Let's go through the Rolodex of bad decisions. Lady over here wants to know, when you go back to Culhane, is it Culhane, am I saying it right, in Florida?
Culhane's, I have no idea when I'm going to be going back. As I say, there's just so many places for... America's a big place. There's only... Everybody's like, when are you coming back here? When are you coming back there? It's just like... There's only one person to get around it all, you know. Kentucky. I know, if I could play every day, I would. But we would love to go back to Florida, but with no idea. Possibly the end of next year, I don't know. You know. Down horse.
You've been to Little Rock a few times. You like Southern food?
I do like Southern food. Rubs. I've been to Nashville. There's a place on Main Street in Nashville I go to all the time and have rubs. And the last time I was there, 3 of my buddies were vegetarian. And I just was like an absolute animal at the table. The guy was like, a whole rack? I was like, a whole rack. Get in here now! Yeah, Southern food's good, but a cornbread, can't go wrong. Beautiful.
Have you ever been to West Virginia when you did your detour around? Did you pop into West Virginia?
Yes. I can't remember the name of the town we were in, but it was this like proper small, super local town. You know, like one of the places where you walk into the bar and everybody in the bar goes, and they just all turn around and look at you. There was me, Barry Kerr, Dave Beaky, and Leighton. And I handed the guy the bouncer was like one of those guys out of the movies, you know, the jeans under here and it was a t-shirt, the cowboy hat, and he was just, "How you doing here, boy?" And I was like, "Just want a beer," you know, and I handed him the ID. And because half of it's in Irish, he was just basically saying that it's not in English, and I was like, "No, it is in English." He's all, "Can you read it? You can't read, right? You can't read." He just pushed the passport back on the chest again, and he's all, "Get in."
Keith, there's a lady over here who wants to know if you can tell the George and cheese story, which you said you'll know what it is.
George and cheese. George, I like to play practical pranks on George. I like to play practical pranks on anybody, really, to be honest. One time we were on the bus as usual, and George, God rest him, was sitting there, and I was making a cheese sandwich. I had a few beers, we all had a few beers, and as I was making the cheese sandwich, I couldn't find any good cheese, so I just found all the, you know, like the packets of Singles cheese, like the rubbery stuff. And I was like, who bought this? Like, why would anybody buy this cheese? Like, why? I was just going off and wanting the cheese. And the second George looked away, just turned, like his head was there, and just went, just threw the big lump of cheese off the top of his head, and just like stuck to his head. And all the boys were in the bus were just like, George, like, don't do it again. Alright, don't do it again. And the second he looked away, he just got an orange piece, and he just went on top of his head again. And then after that time, the lads actually didn't even laugh. They were like, "Please don't do that to George again, or he's going to kill us all." But for me, that's just like a red flag to a bull. I was like, I have to do it again. Even if I thought he was going to kill me, I was still going to do it again. So that's what happened. Third time round, he just looked at me. He was like, "You better not do it." And I was like, "I have to do it, bro. I'm sorry." I smacked him with a lump of cheese, and he gets up. I was wearing this denim shirt, you know, and like I'm not a small enough guy, but George is just big. He was so big. And he grabs me and bear hugs me, and he squeezes me that tight that my shirt split up the middle. And I was like, I was waiting for ribs just to pop out my side. And he just kept screaming, I was like, "George, I can't." He just says, you see my legs flapping underneath. I never hit him with a cheese slice again.
Lady over here wants